and welcome to Caretaker's Corner, where we discuss everything that has to do with caring for your elderly parents, your disabled spouses, and your adult disabled children. Today, my name is CJ, and today's topic is going to be on spoon theory. What is it and how to use it? So, spoon theory is accredited to Christine Miserandinio, and I sure hope I didn't mispronounce that last name, but I'm pretty sure I did. And basically, the concept of spoon theory is that, especially if you're disabled, whether it be physical disability or mental or emotional disability, so anxiety and depression, panic attacks, stuff like that, or conditions like that, can also use spoon theory. Because what it is say you have so much energy in a day. So when you wake up, you have so much energy. And if you're having a good day, you could have a lot of spoons. And if you're having a bad day, you could only have up to 12 spoons or maybe 13 spoons. And think of this, if you're a gamer, think of it in terms of hit points, right? HP. So for everything you do in your morning, afternoon, evening, as you go through your day, you're using up spoons. And then once you're out of spoons, you're done for the day. That's all your energy. And so say you start your day with 12 spoons and you get out of bed. Well, that may cost you a spoon. And then you get all the stuff together for you to take a shower, and that may cost you a spoon. And see, our shower here is upstairs, but our bedroom's downstairs because Barbara can't do stairs. So taking a shower costs her 3 or 4 spoons because she has to go up the stairs, then she has to stay up there while showering, and then come back downstairs. So, she started with 12 spoons, 1 to get out of bed, 4 to go up and take a shower. Well, she's down 5 spoons. Getting dressed may cost her 1 or 2 spoons. So let's say just 1. So now she's down 6 spoons, and we're only an hour into the day, and she's only got 6 more spoons to last the rest of the day. Some days are worse than others. So some days she may only start with 6 spoons. And some days she may start with, feeling really good, 20 spoons, and feels like she's on top of the world. And when she spends all those spoons by the end of the day, usually the next day she's not got any spoons to start out with. We use spoon theory a lot to communicate with each other throughout the day, because we all understand what that means. When I come home from work, it's like, okay guys, I'm almost out of spoons, so I'm just going to bed. There's a lot of different ways you can use spoon theory. It really helps people to understand where you're at, because people can, if you put it in terms of like, I've only got this many spoons, I've only got 2 spoons left, then the person you're talking to is like, okay, they're almost done. Maybe we should get them home, or maybe we should go ahead and get them to bed. It's not, it helps make communicating about conditions a lot easier, especially in the beginning, because like with Barbara's condition in the beginning, we didn't understand it. And we didn't understand what was happening. We didn't understand why she was in so much pain. We didn't understand why the pain came in and went and wasn't always there, but like was really intense when it hit. And so she went from being very, very vibrant, up, moving around, running around. She was caretaker to her parents. And she went to not having any energy or being able to move some days. And spoon theory has really helped us to be able to communicate and understand where she is at. And that is very important because, it's like, I got to remember, I want to go do all this stuff, but she doesn't have the energy. Some days she doesn't have the ability. We make plans for the future. My family, we plan on going to a festival the end of June, but we're going to wait till the last minute to buy the tickets because we don't know how many tickets we're going to need. She may have a great day and go and have a, we go very slow, take our time. It's a full day event. One time we left her in the forest sleeping in a big chair because she was exhausted and fell asleep. And we went about our day and came back and got her at the end. There were people watching her. She was fine, don't worry. I didn't just leave her in a forest somewhere. It was actually at a Renaissance Festival event, so there were plenty of people around. But she ran out of spoons while we were there. And you can bet that when we get back in the vehicle at the end of the day, she'll go to sleep all the way home. And she'll sleep the next day and probably the next day. Because, well, it doesn't seem like you could get negative spoons, you can. And when you burn up all your spoons, especially for the elderly and disabled, when they burn up their spoons, it takes them a while to get more spoons. Whereas, I come home from work, I'm exhausted, I take a shower, I go to bed, I sleep, I wake up, I feel better. Cup of coffee, and I'm on my way. Not so much for Barbara, and not so much for other, like my dad, who's disabled, elderly and disabled. He can't get up and go, and it takes him hours to take a shower. And like my mother-in-law, giving her a shower or a bath actually took several hours, because she was paraplegic, and she could be combative sometimes, to be nice. But it was usually a couple of hour process, because we would get some of her bathed, and then she'd have to smoke a cigarette and do this and do that, and she'd use up her spoons fast because of how long it would take. So every task, whether it's big or small, uses up spoons. And that's something that's really hard to remember, because you're like, well, honey, we're just walking to the table. But on some days, that walk from our room to the kitchen table, which isn't that far, can use up a spoon. Whereas most days it probably doesn't. If it's a really bad day, here lately where I live, it's been we've had a lot of stormy weather this year, like just bombarded by storms. And the pressure changes and weather changes affects Barbara's condition really bad. And the worse the storms and the pressure changes, the worse her condition is. So the fewer spoons she has to play with. So on those days, getting to the table is a lot of work. And she sometimes falls. So it's a lot of work on some of us, because we're there to catch her. And we want to make sure she doesn't fall and hurt herself or anything like that. On those days, she had no spoons to start with. And there's no real way to get her more spoons. I mean, it's not like you can, like in a video game, you can buy more life health points sometimes. You can trade for it or whatever, but not in real life. Once she's out of spoons, she's done for the day. And this is a great way to teach people on how to communicate. Not just, like I said, like Barbara's, she's in extreme condition because of her disability. But if you have anxiety and panic attacks and depression, it's also a good way when you're out with your friends to let them know what's going on. You can let them know, look, I'm down to my last spoon. I think it's time for us to go. It's a good way of communicating with your family, to let them know, all right, I know we're getting together and all this, but I just don't have the spoons to do it. It's a good way of communicating how you are feeling, whether you have any of these conditions. Like I said, we use it around here for those of us that don't have any disabilities. And I hope that you all are able to take this and put it into practice, because spoon theory, like I said, has made a big difference in our lives on being able to understand where particularly Barbara's coming from, but where we're all coming from. So I hope you have a wonderful day and a great week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I know there's a few extra of you out there, and I'm happy that we're gaining some ground here. And if you have any comments or anything you'd like me to talk about, please leave it in the comment section. And I try to respond to everybody. Sometimes it takes me a little bit because of work and all that. And I have a very busy schedule of caretaking. But see you next week. Have a great week.